Okay, this is Bruce, and I got a quick message to all the fathers out there. Today is Father's Day, so I want to say, first off, Happy Father's Day. I have a lot of people who follow me who are mostly, probably 95% of the people who follow me are all fathers. So we all have the same mindset. So I can tell you without any doubt what most fathers want. Now, before you watch this, you should know that I'm about to tell you the truth. If you're a kid and you just happen to stumble on this and you're trying to find out what your father really wants, you know what? Just stop watching this. Don't watch this because this isn't for you. Don't watch it. I'm going to give you a chance to get out of here because you shouldn't hear this from your father. You shouldn't hear this about what's going on in your father's head. This isn't for you. So, yeah, don't watch this anymore. But I'm going to tell you that what fathers really want. And I'm going to do a consensus. I'm going to ask people on here what fathers really want. You're going to see the truth. I mean, if you really want to know what fathers really want, then stick around. But, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. It's not, I'm sure you could probably guess it, but it's not something a kid can give. You know what I mean? So, yeah, if you're a kid and you're trying to figure out what's going on, you want to know what your dad really wants, just get out of here. Because there's nothing just say Happy Father's Day and then be on your way. That's it. Say Happy Father's Day, Dad, and then get out of there. Don't bother your dad. Let your dad have a peaceful day. So, but as far as what your dad really wants, that's what we're going to be talking about. Now before I talk about what I want in my sick brain, I'm going to ask my audience and their sick brains what they want for Father's Day. But I could tell you this. It's not going to be pretty. It's not going to be pretty because I'm a father myself, and I already know what goes down in a father's head. We work really hard. And yeah, if you're late to this game, Happy Father's Day. We're about to tell these people what fathers really want. So I want you guys that are watching me right now to think about it. And don't hold back. It's not your face on this video. So tell people out there, tell your wife what you really want for Father's Day. Just kind of mention it here, No need to be discreet. Just tell me exactly what you want. I'm going to tell you what I want. Maybe I'll kick it off. Maybe that's what I'll do. I'll just tell you guys what I expect for what I want for Father's Day. And then that will give you an idea of where we're taking this, because I'm not messing around here. Yeah, so if you're if you're a kid, just get out of here. This isn't for you. Just go away. Don't watch this. But yeah, for Father's Day. So let's say you're a wife, you're a spouse, and you want to give your husband something special. All right. What you need to do is just figure out what that dude's fantasy is and just do it. That's what you do for Father's Day. I mean, tell me if I'm lying, guys. Tell me am I crazy? Am I the only one who thinks this way? Am I alone? Possibly. I'm possibly alone. But what I would want for Father's Day is just something crazy. Something crazy from my spouse. Something my spouse, I expect her to give, just something insane. Something insane. Like I want her to dress in a French maid's outfit and then just start dusting the house. And then, she surprises me by bending over because she has to dust something that's way down on the floor. And then, it goes from there. I don't have to tell you any more details. But that's the kind of stuff that a father wants. If you're a wife and you're wondering, what should I give my husband? It's not tools, right? It's not craftsman tools. That's not what we want, right? Because we can buy the tools ourselves. We want something special, and it's something you can provide. So yeah, Happy Father's Day, everybody. 95% of my audience is fathers. So yeah. So they're going to tell you straight up what they want. Just look at the comments right here. The comments are going to be flowing. What do you guys want for Father's Day? What do you guys want? Just type it right in here, because we're going to enlighten these fools what fathers really want. Right now, we're going to enlighten these fools. Tell them, guys. Don't hold back. This is going to stand the test of time. We're going to tell them exactly what fathers want right now. You're about to know the secret of what a father wants. We want something crazy. We want something insane, something out of the ordinary, and something only our spouse or significant other can provide. Okay? And not just like normal. Like it's got to be crazy. I mean, am I wrong, guys? Or am I crazy? Or is it just me? Maybe it's just me. But that would be a special Father's Day. That's all I'm saying. That's a special Father's Day, right? Right, guys? I mean, back me up, guys. This is your time to shine. This is your time to tell the truth about what we really want for Father's Day. Because I'm trying to tell the truth, what we really want. Happy Father's Day, everybody. Thanks a lot. Got some people following me right now. This is going to be a short and sweet one. I just want to jump on and say Happy Father's Day to all the guys who follow me, all the people who make this happen, and make this worthwhile. Let me see if I can see some of your comments here, because I'm not seeing them right now, but I know they're flowing on the screen. So just give me a second. Okay, there we go. Arts Play says, Happy Father's Day, Bruce. Sagas says, the miss surprised me at dinner. Yeah, at Papa Doc's. Oh, yeah, there you go. Yep, that's how you do it. So you took him to a nice evening meal and then took care of business that night. All right, so that's what we want, ladies. If you're watching this, if you're like typing in Google, what do men really want for Father's Day? And you came up with this. We want the freakiest thing that you could possibly think of. That's what we want. And then we want you to take us to a private place and fulfill that fantasy. That's what we want for Father's Day. Okay? We work hard. We are hardworking people. Okay? We're men taking care of business. We're men taking care of our kids. We're taking care of the house bills. We're not scrubs, right? We're fathers. You know. So the best thing you can do is do something that he can't get anywhere else, and that's with you. And I think you have an idea of what that might be, right? Especially if you have a open-minded relationship where you guys talk about things. And you have some idea what kind of things going on in your head, your guy's head, what kind of fantasies he likes. Fulfill those fantasies. Get as close to it as you can, because there's sometimes you might not be able to. You might not be able to fulfill some of them. Some may be too crazy. Mike T Man says Happy Father's Day. Happy Father's Day to all you guys. Like I said, we're a whole channel of fathers here. MJB in the place B says she's expecting February 2020, so she keep it simple for now until I return to the Philippines, right? We have any other fathers out there? Could you guys chime in? Tell these people, till they can see your comments over here. Tell them, like, what do you want as a father? Like, what would be a really awesome thing for you to get as a father? Really, like, what would be something that you would be like, oh man, this has been special. What could that thing be? What is it for you guys? What did you guys do this Father's Day? And what would be something that you're significant? We're trying to enlighten other people, like ladies who are watching this, that want to know like what special thing. And I already told you, like, what you do is come up with the craziest thing you can think of that your guy will like. You probably don't want to do something like it's gonna gross him out or anything. Like, you probably need to get to know your guy, so you know what's going on, and then you need to fulfill it. Just wear a crazy outfit and then take them and take them on a world trip in your room. I mean, I think you have some idea what I'm saying without saying it. You know what I mean? Just take care of your man on Father's Day. Bubba Nova says my kids cook me some dinner, and that's great. Like, kids cooking dinner, that's awesome. Yeah, that's very special. Brings a tear to my eye. But at the end of the day, what you really want, only your significant other can give you. I mean, am I wrong? Am I wrong, guys? Food foreplay, LOL. MJB in the place to be. Yeah, I mean, that's cool. Like little cards your kids make you, or They bought you a card from the dollar store or something, or they gave you a gift card, or that's all good. I can't complain about that. It's very a nice gesture. That's very sweet, you know. But if you're really trying to blow his mind, then I think you have an idea of what to do, you know. You know. Bubba says, I would like something special for my wife on my birthday. Wink, wink. Avon McLean said a threesome. So that's not for everyone, you know. That's not for everybody, but you know, every relationship and agreement between you and your significant other is different. So maybe some guys can have that. Yeah, some can't. You know, you probably don't want to push that boundary if you can, if you know your relationship can't handle that. But if that's part of your thing, if that's part of your worldview, if you can do something like that, maybe Father's Day is a good day to do it, you know. But everybody's different. I'm not judging, but that's, you know, that's if you're really trying to move the bar forward. If you're really trying to say, you know what, this is a good man right here. This he's a real father. This is a real dad. I'm gonna blow his mind. You don't go get some Craftsman tools. You know what I mean? Like that's cool and everything. He might have always wanted some hammer or something, and that's great. You know, I'm not saying don't do it. I'm saying if you want to take it to the next level, we can barely talk about that on this channel, and that's the truth. That's the truth. And somebody, Bubba Nova, he mentioned like birthday. That's another good time to do it. Maybe you missed your opportunity on Father's Day, and you could just take care of business on the birthday. So that's also a good one to think about. Cosplay, foreplay is cool gestures. Yeah, I would say role play is a good one. Well, I mean, depends on what you're into and stuff. You might be super conservative. Maybe that's not for you. You know, everybody's different, right? So. But yeah, you want to do something special for your man. You want to take it to the next level. I think you already know what to do, ladies. You already know what to do. You know, just take the gloves off. Be like, and then go to town on your dude because he deserves it. A real father deserves that. Am I right or wrong, guys? Any other suggestions? Come on, let's enlighten these ladies on what to do during Father's Day. I want to hear some real suggestions. Tell me. I got threesome. I got role play, cosplay. I've got wink wink. And somebody else said something about something at midnight. Yeah, see? Like, we live a stressful life. There's a lot on our shoulders. So you got to come correct for the fathers. Saga says, last year we went to a concert downtown Chicago. After the concert, we went to our hotel and blessed the 40th floor balcony. That's what I'm talking about. See, that's the kind of stuff. That's the kind of stuff that we're looking to right there. You know, like just a lady in the streets and a freak in the sheets. And the freak in the sheets is Father's Day. So you already know. You know, you might need some time to prepare. You might have to go online and buy a costume, right? He might have some kind of fantasy with maids. I don't know. I keep mentioning that, but it's not a Freudian slip or something. That's not particularly mine, but you get the idea. There might be some kind of fantasy, and you just have to take 3 weeks in advance to order it in secret, buy it, comes to the house, get prepared. He don't see it coming. Boom, put that thing on, and then be like, "What you want to do? You know, act it out." MJB in place B says, "Not all fathers are good fathers. Let's keep it real." Yeah, I'm talking about fathers. I'm not talking about deadbeats. I'm not talking about dudes that come around and you know, have sex with you. I'm not talking about those guys. I'm not talking about gigolos. I'm not talking about, you know, scrubs. I'm not talking about losers. I'm talking about a father. I'm talking about a dude who takes care of business. I'm talking about a dude who puts a roof over over your head. I'm talking about a dude who puts food on the table. I'm talking about a dude who's there when times are bad. That's a father to me. I'm talking about fathers. This dude, this good man, deserves you to buy a role playing outfit and put it on and then perform. That dude deserves it. That dude deserves for you to be a complete freak. That dude deserves what you're about to unleash on him. That dude deserves it. I'm talking about fathers. I'm not talking about deadbeats, scrubs, losers, one time one night stand. I'm not talking about those guys. MJB says she wore a skirt last time out of fascination with a coconut. You mean a leaf shirt. She wore a leaf skirt last time out of my fascination with coconut bra. Wow, that's creative. I've never heard of that one before. MJB says, so I guess Halloween comes twice a year. Yeah, I'm not mad at that. That's what I'm talking about. So, ladies, if you happen to be watching this, you Googled this, you came to this. So I have a whole channel full of fathers, and you've heard it here first. I mean, I'm sure you already knew this, but I'm reaffirming what we want as fathers. Like fathers, I'm talking real dudes, real fathers, dudes who take care of kids, have kids, are there when they wipe them when they took a crap, take them to the soccer games, take them to their doctor appointments, wiping their snotty nose, taking care of you, taking care of the family, getting food on the table. Those guys are what I'm talking about. Those are the real fathers. Like, they deserve your sluttiest behavior. They deserve to have their mind blown, and that's gonna keep them guys around a lot longer, and make them work double hard for you. So that's the kind of dudes I'm talking about, and they deserve. Okay, Richard Faye says, I don't go to like strip clubs and things. Yeah, I mean, it's not for everybody. I'm not a big guy I'm not really big into strip clubs myself. It's not my thing. I like to go to clubs and dance and stuff like that, but with my girl. But strip clubs, I don't know. Maybe if I can take Yuri with me or something, then yeah, that'd be fun. But if it's me by myself, nah, it's not for me. It just seems like a tease to me. But if my girl's stripping for me, and I know I'm gonna get something, I might have to throw some dollars at her or something like that. You know what I mean, Richard? Richard said, I take my jobs as a father and my kids look up to me. Yeah, exactly. So this guy, I mean, there's only one person who can really do it right, and that's your significant other. I'm being completely honest. I mean, it's really sweet gesture when your kids make a card for you, or they bake you a cake or something, or they made you some breakfast and stuff, and they mowed the lawn or whatever. That's all good. But the significant other is going to give the father really what he wants. The thing that's going to really be like, damn, that was incredible. Bring tears to his eyes. You know what I mean? Hamed says, Happy Father's Day to all the fathers all over the world from Nigeria. Amen. Happy Father's Day, guys. Happy Father's Day. What I'm doing right now is we're just telling people what fathers really want. This is not safe for work. I'm not holding back. What do fathers really want? You as a father out there in Nigeria, in UK, in America, all parts of the world, what do you really want? What do you really want? What would be the most incredible gift you can get as a father that you would be like, damn, that was incredible? Maybe being a father is not so bad. Because it gets hard. Carrying this weight on our back. It gets hard. Big Brother says, we must be careful judging fathers. Not all fall into feminism tactics of shaming fathers and men in general. Some so-called deadbeats are so because the system works against them and nothing they can do. I ultimately, if you're a father to your kids, you know what work you're doing, no matter what anyone says. If you're a father to your kids, because it's beyond money. I think I know what you're getting at. It goes beyond money. It's being there when they want to talk to you about. It's them trusting you enough to come to you and talk to you about some emotional stuff they're going through, and you being there for them, and letting them kids know, hey, and that wife know, hey, I'm here for you. You know, you can have bad days, but I'm here. I'm a rock for you. You know, it's not just about money and stuff. It's not just about politics. Had nothing to do with this. Feminism has none of that stuff. Has in my mind. You know, I'm just being perfectly honest with you, big brother. Like to me, that's not. It's about work, hard work, and hard work don't have a race. It doesn't have a gender. It doesn't have a color. It doesn't have a creed, a religion. Hard work is hard work. And as a father, and I'm gonna tell you, it's hard work. It's hard work. Like you're there when your kid hits rock bottom. You're there when your wife hits rock bottom. You are the rock of the family. You're the cornerstone. You're the foundation, of the family. So you got everyone's back. It's not just about money. It's about being there emotionally for them. That they trust you enough to reach out to you. That's when you know you win. When they're coming to you and saying, "Hey, I got this problem here." They trust you enough to come with some advice. They know that you have their back. Broly Khan says, "What's up? How do you like prayer before dawn?" Great one. I like that one. Happy Father's Day. Yeah, thank you, man. Yeah, I love that movie. I looked at the other list of movies last week. If you guys are late to this show, last week we talked about movies. We were trading movies, and the only one I actually managed to get to was Prayer Before Dawn. The rest ones were, I think, was somebody was just trolling us because I couldn't find most of those movies. But Prayer Before Dawn was incredible. And it's based on a true story. It's about this dude from the UK who became a fighter. He went to prison in Thailand, became a fighter in prison, and ended up fighting for the prison, Muay Thai, and ended up having some wins under his belt. It's just a real honest look. Man, the acting was incredible, and it didn't even look like acting. I think maybe some of those Thai gangsters were real, man. That was so real. It was so realistic. That was great. But the rest of the stuff on the list, I'm still looking for it. Maybe I spelled it wrong. Most of it just didn't. I couldn't find it. MJB in the place to be says, "I think I might have a hard time explaining to my kid the birds and the bees combo." Man, that's a hard one. I tell you what, man. But the way I do it is I just tell them, Frank, this is how it is. Flat out, because they're going to hear it. The way I figure it, MJB, is with that whole conversation is that they're going to hear it from the internet. Like these days, it's all on the internet anyway. So they might as well hear it, hear the real deal from me. I might as well tell them the truth from my perspective. I might as well pass on my wisdom of everything I have learned to them so they know. And I have 2 girls, but I just tell them, hey, this is how it is. Boys are assholes. That's just how they're only looking out for one thing, especially when they're like a teenager, and we talk about, the kids nowadays they're so much different, especially with like gender roles and stuff. It's so, I don't know if you noticed that, but it's very different now. They're educating me on a lot of things. I'm like, damn, it's different now. I'm old. But yeah, that's the thing though. As a father, I'm listening to them. They're talking to me. They're explaining, hey, here's how I feel. Here's how we feel about this. Here's what's going on. And I'm there to listen to them. I'm there. I got their back no matter what. Because I just remember back growing up. All I had was my mom. There was no male role model who was worth a damn. But what I do for my kids is I think of it like this. What do I want? What would I have wanted in a father growing up? My mom was a very strong, nothing can place a male role model. I'm not trying to say that my mom was that could replace that, but she was my mom. Every Father's Day, I wish my mom a happy Father's Day because she was there for me for that. In the best capacity that she could perform as a woman, as a strong black woman. But yeah, I just do what I do. Is I'm like, what would I have wanted in a father? What would I have wanted? And I always want the most important thing. Going back through my military career, going back to all the failed father figures that I had in my life, just going back, and the most important thing in all of that, in all the good little bits of good in all of those situations, is somebody has your back. You want to know somebody has your back no matter what. That was the most important thing in leadership when I was in the military. The most important, it wasn't, a lot of times, like, we have leaders that weren't like didn't know all the stuff that we were doing. They didn't know all the technical uh, things that we were doing. We were in the field, but the most important thing that a leader can have, you as a father, the leader of your household, can be for them is be there for them emotionally, right? If you can be there financially, that's even better. But emotionally, if you can be there emotionally, they'll always you'll be like a foundation for them, and they're not always going to take your advice, but you become like a baseline. And that's why I think a lot of men that I met in my life, that my coworkers, my friends, my people in life, like one thing that they had over me was they had a lot of times male role models, and they had that rock in their life that was steady, and I want to be that way for my kids. Richard Faith says, I have twins, a son and a daughter. They are 14. Wow. Man, isn't that crazy? 14-year-olds are crazy, right? Don't they think completely different, Richard? They think so much different, man. I think it's the internet. Like their brain is like wired different than us. I don't It's not a bad thing. I mean, there's some good and some bad, but mostly I think it's good. Because I can't, like, our generation is kind of our generation and the boomer generation is kind of jacked up, in my opinion. We're doing the best we can, but hopefully these guys turn things around. Philippines Paradise Chronicles says, hello, how you doing, Philippines Chronicles? We're just wishing everybody a happy Father's Day. We have a lot of people who frequent this channel who are fathers. I would say 95% of this population are fathers, and I was just telling them from the bottom of my heart that what exactly men want as fathers, like the real thing that they want, not to say that having cars or breakfast in bed is not good, or tools or whatever, that's all good. But there's one thing that fathers want that only the significant other can provide. Richard Faith says, not just the internet, for schools have changed so much. Not just the internet. The schools have changed so much. I would say that the schools have changed a lot. The curriculum in the schools is better, in my opinion. The curriculum is way better. I know that my daughter's school, in her high school, they have like a fast track to do. Basically, they're getting credits like right when they walk in the door. They're starting to get the college prep. I mean, we had college prep when I was in, but they have like a thing where you practically have an associate's degree. I mean, you can, if you really, really apply yourself, you can have almost an associate's degree by the time you get out of high school, which I think is dope. That's one good thing. And then, of course, they have laptops in the schools here in Colorado. And Philippine Paradise Chronicle says, it's Todd and Giselle Herrick. Hey, how you guys doing, man? Happy Father's Day, Todd. Todd is an awesome father. He's got the cutest kid in the world. Love watching your stuff on Facebook of your kid just doing kid stuff. But yeah, happy Father's Day, man. MJB says, side note, if my passport and driver's license expire while in for example the Philippines, would I still be clear of the airports and other things, or do I have to return to the US to renew? MJB, I can just tell you my personal, yes. I need some headache medicine. I'll give it to you after I'm done with this. Or do you want to just grab it from? Yeah, it's just grab it from here. That's it right there.
Where?
Right there. Yep.
I'll just bring it downstairs.
Okay. Yep, that's my kid right there. Anyway, so so when I could just tell you my experience real quick, MJB. I had actually came from Kuwait, came back to the U.S. and had some business to take care of, and my passport expired. Was actually, it hadn't expired. It was like 1 week into an expiration, and I had a ticket I was trying to buy a ticket to turn around and go back overseas, but they actually would not allow me to purchase the ticket unless I renewed my passport. So it depends on where. I think if you're in the Philippines already and your passport expires or whatever, I'm not sure what happens there, but they have an embassy there in whatever country you're in. So if you have to have an emergency with your passport, you can take care of it there. But that's why what they do is they say you actually can't fly unless your passport has 6 months, is 6 months out from expiration. So they wouldn't allow me to actually purchase a ticket with the situation I had. So I had to actually go renew my passport, buy the ticket back overseas. So, they will not. So the answer is they will not allow you to purchase a ticket with a passport that's about to expire. Your driver's license, they don't really care about that. That's just a picture ID. They don't check that. They check your passport. Philippines Paradise says, Bruce, happy Father's Day. Thanks, man. Terrell Two Guns says, if you don't have 6 months left, there you go. See, somebody's confirming it. Tyrell Two Guns says, if you don't have 6 months left, they are not supposed to give you a stamp. Yep. So they stamp you. Well, actually, they won't even. Like I said, they wouldn't even let me buy a ticket because of my ticket. They saw my passport. That's why they take your passport. International flights. They take your passport. They look at it. They look specifically at you to identify who you are, but then they look at the expiration date. And if it's 6 months, if it's less than 6 months out, they will not allow you to fly. You're not gonna get on the plane. They're not gonna give you a ticket. So yeah, that's what they do. Codename Studio says, "Hey Bruce, question was more for Yuri, but I can pass it on to her. But what would you advise for a Filipina that becomes homesick? Oh man, I know a lot about this one. What can one do to make them feel that this is their home?" Man, so Yuri goes through this like every 2-3 years, and as a matter of fact, that's what's happening right now. That's why there's not a lot of YouTube videos from her. She's just not feeling good, about because it's really family. You know what I mean? Like, yes, she misses home and everything, but it really comes down to her family. She really really misses her family. Her sister's like her best friend and everything, so she has to see her like every 2-3 years. And that's Purple Shadow, by the way. So if you guys didn't know, she has a YouTube channel. But what do we do? So what happens with us is we go through this really hard time where she's just depressed, she's sad, she's lashing out for no reason. And then finally we're like, man, what's going on? And then we sit down and we talk about it. And she says, I'm just homesick. She's in tears and stuff. Man, I need to go home. There's some things that help. One thing that helps is for her to is for us to eat Filipino food, like real Filipino food. Like not just like stuff she makes here, but like sometimes we go out to a Filipino restaurant and eat like lechon and eat like the pork blood and like the sig and being around people who are cooking like authentic Filipino food, that helped. So in Colorado it's kind of hard to come by, especially for us. There's not like a community that we can hang out with here. They're kind of assholes around here. In this area, I'm sure there's like in Denver and all the surrounding areas, there's some really nice people, but the people here in this area that we are in, they're not people we can hang out with. They're not good people. But that's another thing, is if you can find like real good, solid, positive Filipino friends, hang out with them and like go commune with them, and or she's speaking Tagalog or speaking Cebuano or speaking Ilocano or whatever language, and like to bond, you know what I mean? Like that's one thing that's helped. She has friends that are in Texas and in Virginia and all over here and there, and so we'll go visit them from time to time, or when they were here we would go visit them, and that helped a little bit. So yeah, food, hanging out with like real positive other Filipinos, which there are many. What else do we do? Going on trips. So what we've been doing lately, Codename Studios, is going on local trips and just taking a break. Like we've taken a break from YouTube for a bit. Like you haven't seen Yuri here because, for that very reason, actually. She's just been kind of stressed out. Hold on, let me turn my lights on real quick. Okay, there. That's a little bit better. See, get the shine on the bald head there. So, yeah. We just start going out together, just spending time. And I work a lot of hours, not just my regular job. But like I write books, and I'm like doing these videos. I got a whole nother channel that is I take very seriously. I've got like courses I develop. I am a busy human being. So I just took kind of a break and slowed that stuff down to go, and for me and Yuri to go to trips locally. Like we'll just go to like Breckenridge, or we'll go to Vale, or we'll just go places locally and just bond, you know what I mean, and just talk and just have a break from the kids and have a break from like the daily life and stuff like that. That's what we've been able to do, and that's really been working. And plus, she already has tickets to go back home within about a few months. So that's what we have done, and that's worked out. So, and that is definitely a good question. Philippine Paradise Chronicles says codename help her find a Filipino community. Yeah, yep. I would suggest that too, especially and you know like there's just be careful. Like there's some just find more positive people, which there are many. Like I said, we have some really just incredible people who've been very nurturing and very kind, and very like almost like family to us, who we know, who we hang out with from time to time, and they're very helpful to Yuri to get through these times. So yeah. Find her comfort foods. Yep. Lots of FaceTime and Skype. Yep. With going back home. But there comes a time for Yuri like where FaceTime and Skype don't even work anymore. She has to go back with her family. Richard Faith says, now I told my wife to be. I moved to Philippines after the twins graduate high school, as they start high school this fall. Told my wife to move to the Philippines after the twins. They're gonna graduate in the Philippines and then come here, or they're gonna graduate. That you would move to the Philippines after. Oh, okay. You would move after they're done with the. Okay. Codename Studio says cool. Okay, thanks. Richard says, and that's my parents. And that my parents have passed away already. Okay. Trying to catch up with all your messages, Richard. Apologize if I'm confusing them. Mr. Worldwide, how you doing? Happy Father's Day, man. How's your daughter doing? Richard Faith says, I live in Kansas, in Topeka. Hard to find places to eat. Find hard places to yeah, man. Midwest is not kind to other cultures. Yeah. But you know, like it's not too far away. Like the bigger cities, the bigger cities have places where there's larger Filipino communities. Um, you know, like we found a large one in like Las Vegas, and then I'm sure there's some in Chicago. But here it's you know, we're smack dab in the middle of Colorado, and there's just not that many here. There's some, but not as big as you know your California and your LA area and stuff like that. Bruce said, I'm visually impaired, so I have a hard time typing, and I'm trying to use this voice to text soon." Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Mr. Worldwide says, things are good. Columbia in 4 weeks. Oh man, are you gonna meet up with Markel TV? Markel TV is over there right now. I would love to go to Columbia. That would be a great Father's Day gift. One of these days, me and Yuri going out there for Father's Day. A early Father's Day gift. Columbia. Have a crazy time there. That would be incredible. If you guys are late to this, I'm asking the audience, what do you want for Father's Day? Like, what do you really want? What can your significant other give to you for Father's Day? I've already spoke my piece about it, and it's not safe for work. So, yeah, if you missed that part, you have to rewind it and go check that out. But yeah, we want craziness. You know, but it's good to have breakfast in bed or like tools or something like that. That's all good. But man, what we really want, come on, you know what we really want. Mr. Worldwide says we are going to hook up. Oh man, that's great, man. I hope you guys do some videos there. I would love to go there and meet up with Markel TV. He has helped me a lot with planning. Oh man, what is he doing? What's his plan there? Is he? I know when he first went there, he had to get out of there really fast, and he was talking about not ever coming back. But he's back there, and that's cool. But what's his plan? Is he buying property there? I know you can like buy property, and you can get like a the equivalent of a green card and be a permanent resident there and stuff. I guess they're pretty open about things. We're really interested in checking that place out, like for a long term stays. So I'm really interested in knowing more about Colombia. Not so much anymore about Dominican Republic since all the deaths. I don't know if you've been hearing about that, but there's been like how many deaths so far of Americans? Um, about one too many. About eight too many, or however many there are right now. Terrell Two Guns says, "Give me some new work boots. Give me some new work boots. That's one of the best feelings, having fresh work boots. No dirt, no oil, just extra flash. Work boots." Um, Mr. Worldwide says, "I think he is going to move there permanently eventually." I know he said something about staying there for a while, cheaper economy and all that kind of stuff. He's got some nice passive income coming in and stuff. That's good. And then he's gonna move back to San Diego once he gets his money right. Something to that effect. And I could see that because San Diego is nice, really nice. All right, I'm trying to see how I can see the rest of you guys' messages. I apologize if I missed anything, but I'm having some issues getting to the scroll bar. There's a way I can normally like scroll through messages, and right now I'm having some issues seeing the scroll. Let me see, like where I can scroll up and down the text messages and go back and see stuff I missed. So I'm trying to find that right now. Man, that used to be a way. They keep changing this app. The app is really good though. Let me see here. So I'm hearing work boots. I'm hearing role play. I'm here. What else? What do fathers want? What do you guys? What's the best gift you've ever given on Father's Day? And you can censor it if you need to. If you have to censor it. Do what you gotta do. I am looking for the text, so bear with me guys so I can scroll through your messages. Okay, I see the live. There it is. Not safe for work Father's Day. Turn that off. Sound is off. Got a little ad. Okay, there we go. Now I see it. I am going to pop this thing out. Pop out the chat. Okay, there we go. Now it works. Now I can see it. He's going to be there. He's going to DR in November. Nice. There's been like a few deaths over there recently. Like there was one couple who went off a cliff or something, and they found the husband's body in one place and then the wife's body in another place, and they were driving the same car together. And then there was like one where recently this couple like died of some kind of a disease or something. I didn't read all of it. Maybe I missed some things, but man, I don't know. Just look into that. Tyrell Two Gun says, "Bruce, what would you say the average price of a church wedding is in the Philippines?" There's some people who are better qualified to answer that question. So you guys heard that from Terrell Two Guns. What would you say? You know who could answer this? It's probably the Herricks. Todd and Giselle Herrick can probably answer that better than I can. I think they had a wedding in the Philippines. I'm not sure, and Yuri's not here. But if can anybody answer that? He says, "Bruce, what would you say the average price for a church wedding in the Philippines is?" I would say it really depends on how big you want to go with it, and if you want to cater it and like who you want to cater it with. But these guys are better qualified to tell you the average cost. Scrambled Eggs with Pepper says, I just want my kids being happy. Oh, isn't that sweet? Terrell Two Gun says, they shot a they shot Big Poppy Ortiz. He's still alive. Yeah, I heard about that. That was also in Dominican Republic. Man, what the heck is going on? There's some crazy news coming out of there lately for foreigners. Yeah, I think he survived that one. All right, yep, I thought so. I missed some. I missed a couple. Steve D, how you doing, man? And congrats on all your success going through the visa process. He says having her here with me would be great for starters. Yeah, I know, right? Yeah. Richard says, I know. Okay. Kind of scrolling through, guys. Scrolling through, seeing if I missed anything. Sometimes I like miss, because sometimes the messages scroll through really fast. I gotta like go back, scroll through, and see what I'm missing. And this is what I'm scrolling through right here. See this? That's all your messages right there. So I'm just kind of scrolling through. Somebody said, Mr. Worldwide, I just applied for a release waiver for Lena's I-129. Oh, is that what you have to do? To where I can do another one within less than 2 years. Right, yeah, I read that in the I-129F instructions. I mean, that also helps her out if she needs to reapply with somebody else. So, helpful for everybody. Steve D says, thank you, Bruce. Man, congratulations, man. You just went through one of the hardest parts of the process. So, yeah, it's from now on, like, it should be much easier. And by the way, one of the greatest Father's Day I recently got is that Yuri is now a U.S. citizen. We went through the entire process. No RFEs. Went through the K1 visa process. No problems. Just went straight through it. There was one issue with the medical that took a little bit longer. That was the only snag we had. Money, I had to make sure there was a lot of money that I had to spend to go through that. And at the time, I had so many other expenses personally here in the U.S., so that was hard. The hardest part was the emotional factor in that one. Then we went to the green card process, and that was green card process was that took a long time. That wasn't hard, but it just took a long time. And then now, just citizenship, she got it, so we're done. Totally done. And moving on to other things. Yep. So I'll do some videos about that to break it all down and stuff. Maybe show like what questions they ask or any kind of gotchas. They do ask questions. It's like a test you have to take. There's an English test, and then there's like a history lesson test you have to do. And so we'll talk about that stuff. We'll make another video where I break that stuff down like we used to. Steve D says, phew, that sounds great to hear. Congrats on your citizenship. I know, right? It's crazy. Man, we started in 2014, and to be honest with you, the process itself wasn't hard for us. Like the paperwork and stuff is pretty straightforward once you find out what to do. It's kind of scattered all over the place, so that's what's a little bit seems like when the data's everywhere. It's on the government site, and then some of it's on this site and some of it's on that site. But it's pretty straightforward. But the hard part is just being away from each other. That's the hard part. Like the emotional toll it takes on you, the waiting, and then the not being sure because every situation's different. So somebody, and then hearing about other people not making it through or getting, in some people's cases, the RFE, and then like this, the emotional and the stress and the long distance relationship kind of compounds some things. Like it makes you got to develop a stronger trust for one another. It's that kind of stuff that was hard, not the paperwork, and even the money was not super hard. I mean, but made sure we had a budget and everything. Codename Studio says, yeah, do a video on that. Yeah, we definitely will do a couple videos on that. We actually already recorded some of it, but I haven't had time to put it all together. Philippine Paradise Chronicles says, easy to get citizenship. That takes less time than the 10-year green card now. Apparently, we never got the 10-year green card. she just she just went straight to the citizenship. Well, we applied for the 10-year green card, but what they've been doing since it takes so long is they've been extending out the 2-year green card. So Yuri got the 2-year green card and with conditions, right? And then you have to apply and pay for the 10-year green card. But every time we filled it out, they would come back and say, okay, you're extended for another year because we don't have your 10-year green card. That happened twice. Got extended twice. So that took like 2 years by itself. And then she ended up getting in the end, the immigrations officer actually canceled the 10-year green card and went straight to the U.S. citizenship because 10-year green card never came. So we got the citizenship before 10-year green card ever came. So now she's a citizen, registered to vote. So getting her passport soon. Man. Philippine Paradise says service centers are so slow now. Yeah, and the immigration officer kind of gave us some idea of why. What he said was that they were he said something like 35% of the K1 and marriage visas were fraudulent, and so because the rate it was like 30%, it was a lot, because it was so high. And this is not like, people try to blame Trump. I'm not a fan of the current administration or anything, but I think that blame is not correct, and that's confirmed by the immigration officer who told us, back in 2016 is when they really started to crack down on it, because there was like 30+% of the things that are coming through were fraudulent. So that's why they do more vetting on whether or not the relationship is real. So that's what he told us. That's why it's taking so long right now. Philippine Paradise Chronicles says 16 to 32 months now. Ridiculous. Yeah, it's taking a really long time. I would say, yeah, ours took about 24 months. It was a little over 2 years, I want to say, that it took us with the green card process. She held her green card for at least 2 years. Mr. Worldwide says, what's the fee for the 10-year green card? Off the top of my head, off the top of my dome, it was like, oh man, what was it? $600? It was something like $600. Something like that. Now, don't quote me on that, but I want to say it was around 600 bones, but we never got it. So all it did was it extended it out. Yuri's American passport. That is awesome. Yep, real soon. Steve D says, man, that's for sure. That's for sure the LDR process. Yeah, LDR is hard, man. And then there's the strife from her comparing our outlines with all the other girls. Yeah, that's also a factor on her visa group chats, who process seems to be moving faster, right? Yeah. So you really can't compare yourself to other people, and a good example of that is we have several friends. Yuri had several friends who came here and married some dream guy who was rich, right? Rich, like no doubt about it. The guys were rich, and they're going on all these vacations, and meanwhile I'm a middle class dude, and she's like telling me all this stuff about, she's not regretting or anything like that, but she's telling me, wow, they're doing this and they're doing that, and I just want to give you an idea why you can't compare yourself to other people, because it looked good on the outside on all these folks that were married. It wasn't just one, by the way. And it seems good, and they're taking all these pictures and putting them on Instagram or whatever, and it looks like this fairy tale. And then a few years later, they're divorced. So, and it turns out it wasn't going so good, Like, you can't compare yourself to everybody has a different situation, you know what I mean? And then the process, like you've got several layers of process. There were people who started before us and ended up and still don't have a U.S. citizenship. They started before us. They got their visa first. They got their green card first. Still don't have a U.S. citizenship. There's different layers to it. Like right now, Steve, you're going through the visa process. Then when she gets here, you're going to go through the green card process. And then after the green card process, the 2-year green card, then you got to go through the 10-year green card process if you're doing a K1. Then finally, there's the U.S. citizenship. So there's different layers. Like there's going to come a time when you get your green card, your wife gets her green card before these other ladies do, and ultimately, what you find in the end, what really matters is your relationship. This process, you got to stay on top of the process. Don't get me wrong. You have to have the funds and the money and the budget to go through the process and all that kind of stuff. You need to know what's going on. You need to do your due diligence. Yes, all that's true. Yes, yes, yes. But ultimately, the most important thing is your relationship, and that's the hardest work that you should put in. You know what I mean? Like, none of that means anything if you don't have a good relationship. Whether they got their they got their visa or green card faster or whatever, or there was some rich dude who can go take them on a trip to Maldives every week or whatever. None of that matters if you have a bad relationship, so you have to dedicate the time to develop that relationship with them, communication, and always asking them, like, making sure they're okay, and then hopefully they're making sure you're okay and you guys are on the same page about things. The relationship's the most important part. Otherwise, the visa don't make no sense, the green card don't make no sense, none of it makes any sense if you don't have a solid relationship. So luckily, Yuri and I have really focused on the relationship aspect, and it's going really good. And I'm not saying it's always good for us. It's not. There's challenges. Like this whole homesick thing. She gets really homesick. She like really wants to go home, and then when she goes home, she's good. But I have to be mindful of how she feels. She is an immigrant here. This place is still, stranger in a strange land. This place, we have different customs than they do. So I just keep that in mind. Like, how would I feel if I was in, and I've been in that situation, being in the military. I've been in several different countries, and you just get homesick. There were times when I was in Kuwait or Oman or wherever I was, thinking to myself, damn, I wish I could go get a burger at 10 at night, or man, I miss Taco Bell, or man, there's certain freedoms that I wish I had right now. And you start feeling really homesick. You get, after a while, you get used to it after a few years or whatever. But I mean, ultimately, it's a team. About this whole thing, Yuri and I were like talking to each other on the way back from her getting her passport. Getting her citizenship, and we're thinking, man, we did this as a team. We stuck together through all the bad times, and there were really bad times. There's some things, like I said, I can't talk about on YouTube. Cases pending. You know what I mean? I can talk to you personally on my Patreon channel, where I get a little bit more personal. I can't do it publicly. I just can't do it. Cases are pending. There's some real serious stuff on my side, and Yuri stuck with me through it. And then I stick. When things get rough on her side, we're a team. And so that's why, we've been able to do it. Like, that team mentality, man, that really got us through a lot of things. And it's helped us to go to another level with things like passive income and other things we're trying to do together. Mr. Worldwide says, how many movies did you get Thursday from last week? Oh, somebody else asked that question. I was only able to get to one movie. The other ones didn't really work. I couldn't find them or whatever. Most of them, I'm not sure if I typed them wrong, but I did watch one about the UK guy from, it's called Prayers Before Dawn. It wasn't a documentary. What it was based on a true story. It's a movie about a UK guy who got locked up in Thailand for drugs and stuff. He was a bad dude. Broke a lot of laws, a very disrespectful dude. Ended up going to prison, like real prison, for years. And he became a Muay Thai fighter while in prison, and became like a champion in prison, and is now living a free life, having paid his dues in Thailand and in the UK. It's a good movie, man. It was really good. I haven't watched a movie that moving in a long time. It was very real, gritty, grimy. I love that. Man, it was so real. You know, it was so real that at times I'm like, man, are these real prisoners? Is this a real prison? Like, how did they film this? Like, I love movies like that where it's making me think, like, damn, is this real? How much of this is real? How much of the why are those people so real? Man, it was really good. Yeah, that's a great movie. It's called Prayers Before Dawn. Philippine Paradise Chronicle says, you need to develop and adhere to the long term plan. Yes, this guy gets it. Fiance, finance, family, retirement. Yeah, like a long term plan is really helped us get through it as a team to work together, you know. And I told her, hey, here's you know, I'm 44 years old. Like, I gotta start thinking about, like, in 10 years from now, like, I can't do this forever, you know. 10, 15 years, I can't do this forever. We need a plan. So what's our plan? So we start, like, all the stuff we do is based off of getting to that end of this, to work in this plan that we have together, you know what I mean? And her side too, she's telling me, like, here's what my situation is. I'm like, man, I got your back. She's got my back, I've got her back. And we do all this as a team. And our plans are long term. Like Todd says, or Giselle says, finance, family, and retirement. Steve D says, I agree. Great advice on the relationship, Bruce, and paying attention to all of those things for her. Man, you're a good man. You're a good man. So all the people like you, Steve, I'm gonna tell you, man, have a great. Their story is usually incredible. You know, I mean, provided they didn't marry a terrible person, which happens from time to time. But yeah, most of the good men, the real fathers, you know, the real people willing to put in work, who are there for their partner, they have good stories, you know, and they're still together and they're doing bigger things. That's usually what happens. So, and that's great, man. I'm happy for you. So you found somebody who's a soulmate, who you can build something with, a partner that you can build a life with, and is worth your effort. And that's something we lack in here in the U.S. more and more these days, unfortunately. But you found it, so congratulations, man. Just now hold on to it. The hardest work is the work of you guys being a team, right? Having goals, setting budgets, finances, family, retirement. You know what I mean? Big Rob, how you doing? If you guys didn't know, we got a couple YouTubers here. We got Mr. Worldwide. Check him out. Mr. Worldwide Traveler. Travels the world. Has incredible amount of experience doing the I-129F K1 visa process. We've got Big Rob, who's actually a wrestler in North Carolina. I actually met Big Rob. Great man. Great man. Have the benefit of being around a lot of great people. You've got a new YouTuber, Philippine Paradise Chronicles, who is actually very knowledgeable also of the K1 visa process. Used to be one of our one of the main moderators over at Visa Approved on Facebook, which is like a 20,000 person member thing that we started like 4 years ago. I can't even remember. But who else do we have here? I think I saw Arthur Carlson is here, who has an Artco Drones. We've got Broly Khan, who's a black nerd. Power to the black nerds in the house, like myself. We've got Mr. Mike T. Mann, longtime subscriber and supporter of ours. And I'm trying to look for other MJB in the place to be, who's in and out of Philippines all the time. Go check him out as well. Mr. Big Trucker Series Review. How you doing? He says 2 months from now I'm leaving to Manila. Can't wait to see my girlfriend there. Man, you're gonna love it, man. You're gonna love it, man. That's a life-changing experience, and I envy you. I think you've already been there before, haven't you? I think you've already been there. I want to say you've been there before. Big Rob says, I think I'm going to start doing video covering the topics of finance, family, and retirement. It's really needed, especially in the LDR relationship. Man, hell yeah, it does. I mean, I think that's like we noticed like a big spike in our viewership, not just like viewership, but like the quality of people, the caliber of people who start following us when we start talking about stuff like that. Um, the bonds got much deeper when we start talking about like how we really feel about relationships. And because some of it's pretty personal. Like we're talking about like some from the heart how we feel, and it's not always pretty. It's not always something you might agree with. It's not always, um, but it's from our heart, and so people respond to that realness, and we because of that, and people don't always agree with us, honestly, but because of that realness that we put out there, talking about our experience going through this journey, long distance relationships, being an international couple, going through the visa process, but the emotional side of it, you know what I mean? So sharing how we really feel about it has endeared us to other people, you know, and it's a closer bond with people who we've met online and in person. As a matter of fact, when we'll travel to other states or whatever. Big Rob says, okay, I already read that one. Steve D says, definitely, she's a keeper. Thank you. Just like like a team, man, like a team. That's how you got to do it. That works. It works. And like just recently, like Yuri and I like had serious issue, man. A serious issue. That I'm not willing to put some things on YouTube. And you should, if you're a YouTuber, like be careful with some of the stuff you put out there, man. Because wow, you don't want to put like stuff that is self-destructive on publicly available channels or on social media, man. It's not healthy for you to because people don't know the whole situation, you know what I mean? But anyway, we had some major issues related to Yuri feeling homesick and wanting to go home and stuff, and just wanting to see her family. And actually like 3 years prior, before she went back to the Philippines, same thing happened. So we just talked it out. We just talked about like, man, how can we fix this? How let's go forward. Let's try to fix what's going on here. What's the source of the problem, and how can we fix it together as a team, like we've done all these years. We don't. I have not released that, but maybe I'll release it on Patreon to tell like the real story behind that, but not on YouTube. That's not a good idea to put that kind of stuff. Maybe like if it's already passed and then we're already like a year away from all that stuff that's happened. But yeah, we have challenges. You just gotta work it out with the team. Big Trucker Series says I've already been there. Okay. Going there eventually the entire month of July. Rented a condo in Quezon City this time. That's awesome, man. Yeah, man. I remember I was in Cebu for a month and I loved it. One of the greatest times of my life. And I've been to Italy. I've been to Australia. I've been to Germany. I've been to Japan. I've been to Hawaii. I've been all over Miami, Louisiana, during Mardi Gras. Had some crazy times there. One of the best times of my life, like top 3 best times, maybe top 2 best times of my life, was in living with Yuri in Cebu. Incredible experience. So yeah, enjoy yourself. Mr. Worldwide Travel says that first meeting is the best. Yeah, I think this is like second or third time, right? Big Trucker. Big Trucker says I'm guessing you have you are big enough channel to monetize. Yeah, but YouTube doesn't make a lot of money. You should reach out to visa processors to advertise your channel to get some more money. I have an airline and visa processors thanks to my size. Yeah, maybe there's a better way to monetize. YouTube ads, if you're starting this out, don't make a lot of money. It just doesn't. The ads just are not worth it. They're not worth the work you have to put in to do it. Not anymore. It used to be, kinda, But I think the guys have like 100,000. But even then, they don't make a lot of money either. It's just the ads don't make money. So what YouTubers do is do what Big Trucker says, and like do like affiliate programs and stuff. Those can work. Or if you sell a product, that definitely works. If you sell like us, like selling books or whatever stuff like that, that kind of stuff works. So if you have a course or something and you have a relevant, like let's say your whole channel is about traveling to the Philippines, so then you link up with Pacific Air and they have an affiliate program, and then every time somebody takes a flight, you make a percentage of the sale or some stuff like that. You know, like sometimes the dating stuff. If we do a video about dating, we'll have an affiliate link, and when people purchase that dating site, like membership or whatever, we'll make a percentage of what they spent on the affiliate program. So that's okay. It makes $100 here and there, you know. But the best thing that I've seen is to have your own product or service and then promote it from there. And honestly, Yuri Bruce, this site does not make a lot. It just doesn't. It's just not. But yeah, we make some. It's okay. But yeah, maybe I can get with you about the visa processor and the advertise, because that's something we've never done before successfully. Um, and see, and then you said you have an airline processor too. Yeah, we don't have the size to, you know, we only have 18,000 subscribers, and that's really not a lot. You know, it's really not a lot. And then our audience is you know, it's about relationships. It's about like international relationships. That's the kind of stuff people want to see on this channel. Now, my other channel is a different story. It's small, but it's already making a little bit of cash. Derek says hi. Hey, Derek F, how you doing, man? Thank you for all your support, by the way. Uh, I need to take this time to thank all my Patreon subscribers. Thank you guys for supporting us. You guys keep us going, light the fire on this thing, and keep us on our toes and pushing forward and creating content. We appreciate that because it makes us realize, hey, you know, somebody thinks our content is valuable enough to keep going with it. So thanks a lot for that inspiration, Derek F. And Amoris Del Caribe, who's not here right now, but Amoris Del Caribe has been a huge factor in our channel. People like HT Logistics, KP55, Lewis, man, thank you so much. Thal, Tim, thank you so much to you and your wife, man, appreciate you. Who else? Man, there's been people throughout the years. The comedian, his name was Trayvon Zimmerman, but he was a huge help to us. Robert Faison was a huge help. Steam Focus. There's so many others who have helped us out over the years and kept us going. And the community's been awesome. So I want to personally thank you guys and say Happy Father's Day to each and every one of you guys. Mike T. Mann is another one. Mr. Mike, thank you so much. And I'm sure I'm forgetting some people, but thanks a lot to all your support, and not just like financial support, but your wisdom. You know, reaching out to us and giving us words of advice or sharing your life with us. Really appreciate it. Really do. Mr. Worldwide Traveler says, I've got 23 messages from people for processing their Visa K1 and CR1. Yeah, like you have a channel. One thing we learned about YouTube is it's as great as it is to get information and build community and stuff. It's even better for promoting things. It's so good for promoting things. I mean, it's incredible if you have a product or service. Yeah, so Mr. Worldwide only has 200 subscribers and already has 23 messages from people processing K1 visas. He helps people go through their K1 visa or CR1 visas for a fee. So yeah, it's so powerful for that. So powerful if you have a product or service. I know on my other site called Convo Courses, I have a course, and that has about 3,000 subscribers, but yeah, people are buying it. People buying the course I created for cybersecurity, and YouTube is an incredible way to advertise books or products or services. And the better your product or service is, and the more high quality it is, the more money you're gonna make off of it. So You're providing a service by providing information on your YouTube channel that people want to see, or entertainment, and then in exchange you're saying, hey, here's an ad to my book or my product or my service, go check it out, and then people check it out and they buy it. So really an incredible marketing tool that YouTube is, that's people are really sleeping on. I think that's it, guys. I want to keep this one short and sweet. Happy Father's Day once again. I just want to send a special shout out to all the fathers out there. 95% of my audience are fathers. I appreciate all you guys. You guys have been a huge feather in our cap, huge help to us throughout all these years. And man, we were just talking about it the other day, like we came a really long way, and some of you guys have been with us from the very beginning, and I really appreciate it, and so does Yuri. um, I will see you guys next week. Stay tuned for upcoming videos that are going to be coming out Wednesday. I'm going to release something Monday on Patreon, but we've got other videos coming out that's going to be walking you through the Yuri's process going through the U.S. citizenship. She's now a citizen. Yuri is a citizen. She's about to get a U.S. passport, all that kind of stuff. But yeah, happy Father's Day to everybody. I'm out of here. Appreciate it.